I'm here to talk to you today about sports management. And everybody knows about sports management. It's the hot industry out there. We live in the Jerry Maguire, Arliss era, show me the money. It's an industry where you can pursue your passions to work with professional athletes and take the skill set you learn at a law school and apply that. And as I was doing this, as I'll touch on in a little bit, I was working with a few football clients on the side from my old school, from Notre Dame. And part of the reason why I made the switch was because I was able to develop the skill set at these firms and transition seamlessly to representing professional athletes. And I'm going to speak about this a little bit later on, about taking advantage of your circumstances, looking for opportunities. Wherever you are, there's an opportunity. And my opportunity happened to be playing pickup basketball in the off-season at Notre Dame, becoming friends with some of the guys on the team in the winter months, the off-season months, January, February at the rec center. Developed some friendships. They knew at the time that I was in law school and I was graduating, and I was going to be coming out to the city to practice law with the firm. At the time, the industry had gotten a black eye. At that time, these guys on the team, my friends, said, you know what, we would love for you to get certified with the NFLPA. You're somebody we trust. You're somebody that can do our contract for us. So I did that. Their teammate was not looking for the glitz or the glamour, but was looking for somebody to do right by him on the contract, but more importantly, be somebody he could trust. So as I was developing that practice, and as I was still gaining a great skill set at these firms, about 4 years in, I did some soul searching. And I realized, number one, I had an aptitude for what I was doing. My background's in accounting. I graduated from Notre Dame. I was summa cum laude in accounting. I've always had an affinity for numbers. So negotiating contracts was always pretty easy for me. The more important thing I realized was the fact that I enjoyed the work. Working with young men of character to help them achieve a common goal, to achieve a dream, that really resonated within me. Building something from the ground up. And it was a natural transition for me to get into this industry because I was able to do that. The bigger reason, in terms of working with young men of character to help them achieve a common goal, is to make a difference. A lot of these players with whom we work, they don't have the blessing or the fortune of having the solid family background. Some come from single family homes, single parent homes. So in a certain sense, I can be there for them as a big brother to guide them along life's paths, not only in business matters, but in personal matters as well. And that really, as I've gotten more and more involved in the industry and as time has gone by, and as the age gap has widened between my age and the age of my clients, that's more of a role that I find myself filling for these guys. Assembling the right team. You know, when I decided to build the industry, build the agency, I knew that I needed to surround myself with the right team. People that shared the same values, the same core principles as me. And I've been very fortunate to do so. Our Director of Player Development is a former All-Pro cornerback, 12 years in the NFL, Dwayne Harper. I don't know if you guys remember the name. Played with the Seattle Seahawks and the San Diego Chargers. Played against the best. Played in the Super Bowl when the Chargers lost to the 49ers back in January of 1995. Dwayne's role with us is to coordinate position-specific coaching for our guys, help them with their transition to the next level when they come out of school. Through 12 years in the NFL, he's developed relationships with guys like Junior Seau, Steve Atwater, Eugene Robinson, players that were the best at their positions. So in terms of the competitive advantage, what we can offer our guys when we recruit a kid coming out of college is we offer them the opportunity to learn tricks of the trade from one of the best players to ever play at their position, whether it be a linebacker, corner, free safety, whomever. And that's what Dwayne brings to the table. We have been fortunate as well to have access now to the top facilities and the top consultants in the industry. We also have Ken Harrock involved, who's our interview preparation coach. If you Google Ken Hayrock, I think he has a website now, but he's worked with over 80 first-round picks in the last 5 years. Reggie Bush, Percy Harvin, Marshawn Lynch, Calvin Johnson, Glenn Dorsey, you name it, the list goes on. Ken's role is to come in, work with our players before they go to the Senior Bowl or the Combine, prepare them for their interviews, just so they know what questions they're going to be asked and they can prepare themselves accordingly. When you compete against the largest agencies, how you really differentiate yourself is about offering, I call it the best of both worlds. When we compete against the CAAs of the world or the Rosenhaus Sports of the world, we say that you can have access to the very best. You can have access to the same facilities, the same consultants, the same expertise in terms of the skill set of the people involved. The opportunity to work with former all-pro players at your position to learn positional drills, techniques, tricks of the trade. However, where we can differentiate ourselves and offer a little bit more is the fact that at ETL, you'll work with the principals of the company directly. You won't be a number. You won't be a person having a 23-year-old college intern handling your matters because you're not Peyton Manning or Danian Tomlinson. And that has been a very powerful selling point the last couple years. In building the company, I knew that as an agency, your foundation is your client family. So it was very important for us to build it from the ground up with players who possess that combination of obvious on-field ability, but also character. And I've been very proud of the fact that we've never swayed from that, nor will we ever sway from that. In addition to making it easier for us, it really comes down to self-preservation, efficient use of time. Instead of babysitting, dealing with suspensions, dealing with hearings, appeals, I'd rather make more productive use of our time recruiting, developing our business, networking, building relationships. And so that's been the model from the get-go. And we've been very fortunate to be in a position to really build and stick to that. I can't stress enough the importance of getting out there, pressing the flesh, making connections, meeting people, giving out your business card. It's invaluable, especially in this industry. But we have been very, very tenacious and aggressive in terms of going to places, looking to make connections, build relationships. Combine, Senior Bowl, Super Bowl, college pro days. Everywhere there's an opportunity to meet someone, whether it be a scout, a coach, a GM, personnel director of a team, we take advantage of that. And due to the respect and due to the relationship we've built over the past several years, he'll give me a straight-up answer, which really helps us in terms of recruiting the right players. Building relationships in peripheral fields. You are very fortunate to go to school here in New York City. New York City, as you know, is the mecca of it all. Entertainment, film, television, media, fashion, music. It all starts here. One of the pitfalls in the industry everyone talks about are, agents stealing your clients. My response to that is, if you go after the right type of player, the right type of young man, who has the same values, who sees things the same way you see things, who shares the same core principles, and you do the right thing by him, you always look out for his best interests, you work and you're diligent in your representation of that client, that's something you'll never have to worry about. Because that fear, that risk of losing a client to another agent, if you're doing the right thing and you're standing by your client, you're doing right by him, and you have the right type of young man that you're representing, that will never come into play. Whether it be graduate school, internships, business training, resume construction, we are able to help transition our clients to that fulfilling second career. And I tell all of our guys, if you play 12 years in the NFL, that's a very, very long career. You've been blessed to have a very long career. However, you're going to be about 34, 35 years old at the time you retire. And not many people in this country can retire at 34, 35 years old, unless your last name is Gates. In a nutshell, just like being a professional athlete is a year-round endeavor, it's a year-round job, being a good agent is the same thing. It's a year-round endeavor. You're always working. You're always getting ready for the upcoming year. You're servicing clients at the same time. So if you have that passion and you realize that, you know what, this is going to be a year-round thing, but I love it. I love what I do, then it could be a good fit for you. Signing bonus default language, I just want to touch on one aspect, a legal aspect that is prevalent or that would be relevant today since I'm talking to law students. Everyone knows about signing bonuses. Whenever a player signs a contract, he's going to receive some guaranteed money up front for signing that contract. Guaranteed money is the best money for all NFL teams. Every single NFL team has instituted default language in their signing bonus addenda. It basically means if you get suspended, and they like to use the term conduct detrimental to the team. And from their vantage point, that term, that phrase is so broad, it'll cover, it could cover a jaywalking ticket, a parking ticket, a speeding ticket. I mean, what really is conduct detrimental to the team? In a negotiation, we are very careful to avoid that phrase, and that's the one part of our negotiation strategy, is just to really avoid that phrase at all costs. And our viewpoint is we want to narrow that language down as specific as possible. So instead of conduct detrimental to the team, we would push for something like conviction of a felony offense in the jurisdiction where the team is located. So instead of taking this broad term, we've taken not incarceration but conviction. For a misdemeanor, no. For a felony, anywhere in the country, no. In the jurisdiction where the team is located. We've narrowed it down. Now obviously a team, any person negotiating on behalf of the team is not going to agree to that right off the bat, but you've opened up the discussion to the point where you can get a little more specificity in that language to protect your clients. When we were negotiating his contract, when I was negotiating his contract, that came up, and it was Dallas's signing bonus default language. They had a term in there. The phrase was he would have to pay back his signing bonus or a portion of his signing bonus for incarceration or conviction for a felony offense. So we had everything ready to go. It was about 3 days before camp started. Deion was a 6th round pick. It wasn't like, he was the first rounder that year. So we had everything ready to go. The money was all set up, and we had agreed on everything but this phrase. And we were going back and forth for 2 days. And I just thought to myself, the American judicial system is built on the precept of innocent until proven guilty. And for the Cowboys to insert that language saying that if Deion were incarcerated but later exonerated for a felony offense, that they could come after his signing bonus, that didn't sit well with me.